How do you cope with photos and videos coming out of war? Selena is taking a break from social media. She said that she couldn't take the horror, hate and violence happening around the world. Many attacked her for making a neutral statement when she has 500 million people following her. But you can't disagree about the disturbing photos and videos that have filled our screens. Painful stories came from COVID-19, then from the Russia-Ukraine war, and now the Israel-Hamas conflict. By now, most of us have seen unforgettable images and videos of dead bodies, burned cars, and destroyed blocks of buildings repeatedly. This exposure is often unintentional. The war not only severely affects those who are engulfed in it, but also the bystanders, the first responders, even when they do not directly experience the trauma themselves. In fact, studies show that exposure to news of terrorist attacks such as 9/11 could cause a wide range of emotional reactions like PTSD or depression and anxiety in both adults and children.
Gruesome images which anyone, irrespective of their age, can start accessing becomes very problematic. And especially when there's gore images of violence and murder and killings.
Children have constant access to media coverage of armed conflicts, terrorist attacks, mass shootings and other brutal acts.
It's important to understand that people who are vulnerable, children, people who have existing conditions like trauma or mental health concerns, people who've witnessed war before, can all get really triggered. There's also this desensitization or numbness that can start happening on certain kinds of population.
Continual exposure to horrible images is desensitizing and numbing. Some viewers might get too used to such images, seeing them as a new normal and being undisturbed by them. The brutal deaths of thousands more people become just statistics to them. So what can you do to protect yourself from overexposure?
What is important is we control how we are getting to know this. And social media images may not always be the answer. And for our own selves, maybe we can monitor the channels that we are following and monitor how many times a day are we exposing ourselves to something like this.
Limit the depth of exposure to details. Reduce time spent and frequency of exposure to sad news. Choose news delivered with composure. Avoid limitless scrolling. Do not ignore or avoid other positive news.
It's very important to also listen to our mind and body. If images are triggering us, if we see something's getting difficult to us, to take a step back, to soothe ourselves, relax, and filter out information and sources of information accordingly becomes very important.
Take time to reflect. When you feel the negative impact, anxiety or sadness, reflect on it. Talk to others. Lastly, seek help. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.